because someone's like, Vanessa,
Dang, yeah.
I can't sleep, and I'm like, I can't either. It's just so much, but I like it. So my name is Vanessa, and I am a senior, majoring in psychology and Spanish. Let's see. This is my third year as an RA. I was an RA for the multicultural arc my sophomore year. In the past 2 years, I've been an RA for the Latinx arc. So I'm a psychology major. So I knew coming into college that I wanted to study people because I wanted to work with them somehow. I didn't know how exactly, but I knew that I wanted to just be, I'm a very social person, I'm an extrovert too, so I knew that I wanted to interact with people one way or another. And when I found out about the RA role, it was like, oh, you know, you're going to be helping first year students, guiding them, just being there for them in general. And I thought that was really cool because I like doing that in general, you know?
Yeah.
And I was going to get free food and housing for it, so I was like,
That's always nice.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, and so I applied and I got it. And I applied for the multicultural art because I wanted to be an example of a BIPOC on campus, on a very white campus. And I wanted to be there for people that were going through similar struggles as a person of color on campus. And that's why I chose the multicultural art the first year. So I cared too much my first year, a lot. I cared way too much, and that was tiring for my personal mental health and, you know, just personal overall health. I was just worried about everybody all the time, and I had 40 residents maybe? Yeah, I had 40 something residents, or 30 or something like that. It was just a lot of people to care about, you know, and I wasn't just caring about my personal, assigned residents, I was caring about everybody else on the floor because I was interacting with them often. So definitely take care of yourself before trying to take care of others. Pace yourself, and don't care too much, you know. We're all adults, and yeah, your job is to care about people to a certain degree, but it's not, you know, you're not their mom, you know, you're not their, you're just a person that they can go for as a resource. You don't have to go and search out for their problems and try to figure out what they're going through. Sometimes they don't want the help, so that's not our job, you know. So definitely pace yourself, and yeah, don't care too much. Care enough. Care enough that you do your job well, that you feel good as a person, but not too much where you're burning out. We get stipends. Okay. So now it's $100. Before I think my first year was 75-ish.
Okay, so they raised it up a little bit, huh?
They did, yeah. I think yeah. And then last year it was 80 something. I think returners get a little bit more, but they don't really tell you that. But it just happens. But yeah, it's really it's nice. I don't have to worry about rent, food, trash, water, none of that. I don't have to worry about that, which is really good. But in return, you know, I have to worry about. Now I have 50 residents, so it's gone up too.
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's good experience. I've learned a lot about myself in the job because you know, I learned how my moods are, you know. Yeah. I learned when I can help people and when I cannot, you know.
That's very important.
Through experience, yeah. Just if I know that if I leave my room right now, I'm not going to be able to help them at my best. You know, I'm going to be very grouchy, you know, they're going to be, you know, if they're going through a mental health crisis and I'm going through a mental health crisis, we're just both going to be, you know, falling instead of helping each other. So I learned how to deal with that. It's been a really good experience. It's not just residents. You also learn to work with a team, people you live with different personalities, and, you know, being on call with different personalities. Someone is more eager, you know, to get things done. Yeah. Someone is I'm just trying to get through this, go through the motions, you know, and finding flexibility with each person because everybody's super different, and you know, finding out oh, you're in a bad mood today, and you're like this when you're in a bad mood, so I'm gonna adapt myself to that. I think that's super. It's a cool part of being an RA too. check our resumes, have interviews with us. If we have an interview for another like internship or something like that, they'll practice with us. And,
Okay.
Yeah, because they're people that hire others too, so they know what it's like to be the person hiring.
Yeah.
So they'll give you tips like, hey, straighten up, like talk, like say this and like this. So it's really nice.
Yeah.
Also, those are important connections. Like, my direct supervisor works directly in writing the rules and stuff for housing.
Mm-hmm.
Also like training and stuff for residents and residents assistants, and you get that like experience, like behind the stage,
Mhm.
experience. That's really nice too.
Yeah.
They're there for like letters of recommendations.
Exactly.
They're
Yeah, I
just
just want to
really-
mention that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I had this internship during the summer, and my boss was one of my letter reps, and they can vouch for me because I literally lived and worked with them for a whole year,
Exactly.
So they have a lot to say. My first year, I lived here in GCH.
Mm-hmm.
I joined the Spanish ARC, the like Spanish language ARC,
Mm-hmm.
and I was expecting to have more other like Spanish speakers, heritage speakers.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case. It was a lot of second language learners that wanted, to practice and stuff like that.
I see.
But I applied for the ARC because I knew that I needed more people similar or around me.
Mm-hmm.
But it just was not the case. It's not the same level this year. It's not the same level as it was my first year. There's a lot of more diversity this year, even though it's not a lot. It's still a lot compared to how it was my freshman year.
Well, that's a good thing to hear.
Yeah. But my first year was not. I don't think it was like the best experience. I didn't really feel at home. I was always in my room. Seasonal depression hurt. Hit really bad my first year. I'm very independent though, so I don't think I ever like let it out or anything like that.
Yeah.
It was interesting. Then after I became the RE for the multicultural ARC, I think I really found myself. Everybody in the floor was either of multicultural background or they were open and wanting to learn more about it, even if they were not multicultural themselves. It was a really good experience. I got to make friends from everywhere, and that was really nice. And I got to help people, that were struggling at YOLO because they didn't feel like they could fit in, And so the floor was very like the home for all of us, to just come back at the end of the day and be like, I'm not a minority, It just felt in that space, it felt like we were just people, not our race or our cultural background or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely my second year, getting really close to my residents.
Mm-hmm.
It was just super funny because we were just all sitting. This is all before. Hello. Hi. This is all before COVID. It was super nice. We were just all sitting in the room. I think it was like 60 maybe of us, and we didn't fit in the room, so we had to sit on the floor and everything. And it was after quiet hours, and so so we couldn't be loud, right?
Yeah.
And so they were whispering their names. They were introducing themselves, right?
Okay.
And we were trying to play like who learns everybody's names,
Okay, yeah.
And so we were just going around and being like, Vanessa. And everybody's like, welcome, Vanessa. It was super cute and super funny. And I was so happy at that moment because I was like, aw,
Yeah.
Internships are so important. Like,
I mean,
the most important thing in the whole wide world. Like, I'm gonna be honest. This is advice I'm giving my residents this year.
mm-hmm.
Basically, school is important. Classes is important, right? The subject of the class, unless it is relevant to you personally or relevant to your career, you're not gonna remember it. You're not. I took a dance anatomy class. I had to learn all of the bones in my fingers and my hands. I don't remember a single. I think one of them starts with an M. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I passed the class. I did good, but I don't remember a single bone. I don't even remember what we did, but anyways. So don't stress about the class itself. just do your best in terms of like turning things in on time, you know, studying for the best that you can do, but do not stress about it. It's useless to stress about it. You're not going to remember it anyways, you know. The aspect of classes itself that is important that you're going to take outside of college is your work ethic. When do you turn in things, you know, do you fulfill expectations, as in, you know, are you truthful? Are you not cheating? You know, things like that. Those are the aspects of classes that you will take outside of the classroom and apply them in real life, you know? Turning things in on time, that's what shows that you are responsible and that you're doing your best, you know? Even if the actual, like, juice or the actual, like,
the content,
yeah, isn't the best, you know, because it honestly doesn't matter unless it's relevant, you know?
Yeah.
But turning things on time, doing your best in general, making sure that you are fulfilling all the expectations, that is what's important about the classes itself. The content is not. It really isn't. Unless it's relevant to you or your major or whatever you want to do in the future, right? So definitely for me, the most important thing is the connections you make and how you represent yourself, and, you know, the image you leave behind is the most important thing. So
Vanessa, it's great talking to you, and thank you for the information. You had a lot of valuable information that I hope these students take in.
Take it for real. It's super important.